Alright, so this is a video lesson going over Mr. Ramirez's art class that we can work with for today's assignment. We'll be working on creating a lighthouse, and I'm going to be using a small, I believe it's like about maybe 10 by 12 paper that you'll see here. Let me just kind of zoom out real quick. This is the more or less the size. It's a small paper. I'm going to be working with the vertical position. This is horizontal, left and right, and then going up and down is going to be the vertical. So let me move some of these over. This is more or less a sample that I'll be uploading on the Google Classroom, and then we have another sample that we're going to combine together so we can kind of do the lighthouse lesson. In the lesson for this assignment, I want you to work on a lighthouse. I want you to fill it up as best you can on the paper, and then of course we'll be working with creating this in ink or pencil, and then as an extra bonus for an extra grade, you can work on this in full color. I will first do the example in the marker so that you can see the visual line a lot better, and then we'll go ahead and start. So I'm going to start with the lighthouse first. I'm going to move some of these worksheets over, and then on my left you're going to be seeing the paper that I'll be working with. So this is a stand-up lighthouse. I'm going to first start off with it in the center, which you start off with a very basic box way up here, sort of like a rectangle. Okay, now you can decorate this as you want. I'm going to add some windows to my lighthouse. I'm going to add 3, and then it usually has a top, and you decide what top you want to put on this. I'm not exactly using any of these. I'm just kind of using them as a resource to kind of help me make this lighthouse a little bit more interesting. So you can use a lot of rectangles that you just kind of pile upon each other. The lighthouse does go down at an angle at a certain point, kind of like this, and then it does not have to entirely fit in there. It can be your random design. A lot of this is just rectangles and squares. So the main shape of a lighthouse is going to go down like this. It's a little bit wider in the bottom. It does have a base. Let's create a base here with some stairs. 2 rectangles side by side. My entrance to this lighthouse is here, a little bit of an angle. You decide how you're going to put the texture on that door, and then up here on the far right, well, on the right side and the left, you can do some windows. Very simple. You're just repeating rectangles. Okay, I'm going to put maybe 3 here in the middle just to make it more decorative. Some of the lighthouses do have a colorful angle, kind of like a candy cane that goes like this. So I'm going to add that to my design. That way, if you want to add color, you can add the color next. And that way it's just more of a lighthouse and it's more interesting. So to work on this assignment, you will need a couple of references which you have on Google Classroom. This lighthouse can sit on a certain base. Let me give you an idea of this worksheet here that I'll be uploading for you. And this, let me zoom in a little bit, is going to be an example of any kind of base you want to put. I'm going to do like I guess like a concrete formation. If you ever go to Chicago, you'll see the planetarium, and it has a very amazing layout. So what I'm going to do here is this is going to be the grass part that goes this way, and then I have a little cliff coming down this way. You decide how that works. Let me turn this down real quick so you can see it. Okay. The back part is going to be water, and this is going to be a very quick lesson, very simple lesson that later you can take and then make it your own. For the water, I'm going to create some designs like this at a curve, and then they just come down, and they just keep repeating as I make this like a swirl. And then you're basically adding a pattern to the background. Okay, so these are going to be like waves, like a little swirl, and then bring that swirl down, bring them out, and then just add that. So what you'll do later as an artist, you will add the water waves in color, and they have like a little splash element here, almost like a teardrop or a raindrop. After that, you can work with clouds. Clouds can be just big marshmallow formations. Give it a variety, like fill up the top, fill up the middle, and then as you can tell, most of this drawing, let me zoom out, Most of this drawing is already filled in, and you can use these as a resource. Okay, you can add a little bit more, you can add shading to it, you can add anything you like, but this will be your assignment for I guess we can call this for Tuesday, Wednesday, and or for 2 days. It's a 2-day assignment. One, you can work on the layout in line, and then second, you can work on the element in color. So if you have your drawing, this will be on any paper that you have at home, or those of you in the classroom, you can follow what we have. You can do this in pencil and then finish it in colored pencil, or simply shade it in like this drawing is done in black and I guess black and white. But of course, shade in a lot more in the background to bring out a lot more in the drawing. They also use hatching. They also use stippling, which are the little dots. And these are the resources that you have available. This is more or less the finished product of what I like for you to work with. You would put your name on it at the end so that I know it's yours. And if you can, put a period number. In my case, this is done in period 1. And so that way I can identify your work. You can upload this on Google Classroom. Some of you are assigned at home and you're probably wondering what to turn in. Work on this. This will help you for this week. And then I'll give you another lesson at the end of the week as well. So this has been Mr. Ramirez for the Art 1, Art 2 courses. If you get a chance, observe the resources and, of course, turn in your work as soon as possible. And, of course, do it very nice. So if you have any questions, I'll send my email on the Google Classroom. It's under ra.ramirez@ecisd.us. And then you can you'll see that in the notes. So thank you very much for today's lesson. And we'll be uploading this very soon. And go ahead and play it again so you can kind of see the detail. I'll leave this up a little bit. Do some shading here, do some coloring here. If all you have is a pencil, make this an amazing shaded drawing. Okay? So the lighthouse is today's subject. And if you have any questions, please contact me. I'll be more than glad to assist.